Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Tanya Navarro. I'm an MSW social worker and I wanted to keep on going on the conversation with Alzheimer's disease. Um, like I mentioned before, this is my personal video blog where I share experiences, so I call it like a diary of a social worker. And so the other day, as I was leading the support group that we have in the organization for family caregivers, many things came up, but one of the things that came up was the how do I communicate with my patient? Um, it's very difficult to try to reason. It's very difficult to not argue or confront them. And a lot of things, as one person was sharing, um, others followed and started what I call an awakening, because sometimes as caregivers we tend to hide our emotions or the way that we're feeling, because these things that we are feeling, if we say it out loud, people might perceive us in a way that it's not right. How can you feel like that? This is your mother, this is your father, this is the people that gave you life. So feeling anger towards your patient or feeling in a certain way that is not socially approved, it, it can create a toll on someone. So after one of the participants started to you know express how they were feeling so angry at times with their patient, and a lot of other ones started to express all of these emotions. And it's so powerful to say them out loud and to hear others experience the same thing. It's so powerful and it's so meaningful, and it allows for healings to start. So um, when we were discussing about it, uh, one of them asked, how can I communicate better with my mom? How can I make her understand that that I am not doing certain things, or that I'm doing this because I love her and I want the best for her, right? So one of the things that I have a handout that gives do's and don'ts, and also a little reminder, a reminder that dementia patients are not crazy and they're not lazy. um, they are saying normal things and doing normal things for a memory impaired dementia patient. Now, if they were doing things or saying things to deliberately um, aggravate you, then believe me, they will have a different diagnosis. Um, you know, some days they will seem normal, and then some other days they will not. And their reality is now so different from yours, and quite honestly, you cannot change that. Um, you can't control the disease, and you can only control your reaction to it. And this is so important. You can control your reaction to it. And let's remember that their disability is memory loss. They cannot remember, and cannot remember they can't remember. So they will ask the same question over and over, believing it was the first time they asked. Another thing to remember is that they do not hide things. They protect things, and they put them in safe places to be able to find them later. But because of their dementia, they forget they placed them somewhere. So don't take the stealing accusation personally. And and another thing to remember is that you know, they're scared all the time. Not being able to remember and being confused. I can only imagine, what they're feeling. And so they are scared all the time. Remember that each patient reacts differently to fear. And, some may become passive, uncooperative, hostile, angry, agitated, verbally abusive, and even physically combative. Um, and some do share all of this. They can alternate. The mood can go up and down. And another thing to remember is that the level of anxiety that they have may compel them to shadow you. Some people will tell me, well, she's following me around the house constantly. I don't know why. Well, this is why. You know, the anxiety that they have, you know, compels them to follow you around. And just remember they can't remember. And your reassurance is key. It's key that to make them feel safe. And just keep saying that to them. So one of the things that I do recommend not doing with your dementia patient is do not try to reason with them. Don't argue. Don't confront. Don't remind them that they forget. Don't question their recent memory. Don't take it personally. I believe this will be like the number one. Don't take it personally. Because believe me, it's not about you. It's not. But I do want to encourage that if you're going to give some sort of explanation, keep it short and keep it in one sentence. Keep it very short and sweet. Do repeat instruction. But if you are going to be repeating your instruction, make sure it's in the exact same way. It is known that dementia patients thrive better when it's the same thing constant. They don't do really well with change. So make sure that if you are going to be repeating something, that it's in the exact same way. Agree with them or distract them to a different subject or activity if you start to see that their emotion is going to be outbursting. And I know this might sound difficult to some, and I may even get a little bit of comments here, but accept blame when something is wrong, even if it's fantasy. And this is only this is only to say that when patients, sometimes patients do come up to me and be like, you know what, my daughter is stealing from me, and like I said, this is fantasy, but going with the flow and being reassurance and able to communicate with them, it's far better than being confrontational about it and trying to reason or argue with them, because you're only going to escalate the behavior and add more anxiety and confusion. So I want to thank you again for listening to me, and I want to leave you just with this brief statement. It's very unfortunate that we still don't have a cure for this. I wish they were. I've lost people to this disease, and it's heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking. But one thing I could say is that we can't control the disease, but you can only control your reaction to it. If you need help or if you need to talk to someone, please do reach out. You can find me at www.positive.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach me at my WhatsApp account or Telegram at the number 6192505020. Again, my name is Tania Navarro. I'm a Master of Social Work. Um, and continue to be positive the rest of the day. Thank you for tuning in and listening to my video blog. Goodbye.